I learned in the book, I play guitar. So, or play guitar first before ukulele, before I started learning ukulele. So I was able to look at everything in this book from the terms of a guitar player. And I thought that there were some really helpful items in this book. I would assume they would be helpful as well for brand new beginners just because of the way that they're written. They're what I found particularly helpful as a guitar player transitioning to ukulele. So, one of the things that I liked is that they have the music written as notes and tab. So those of you that have problems reading just notes or maybe have no music in background, have never had to read notes before, you can do the notes and the tab. They're both in there, and I think that that is really helpful for beginners and also for people that are transitioning from another stringed instrument. Just because sometimes different instruments have a little bit different notes based on each string. So that was my one of my favorite features about the book. Now, there were some really helpful tips in the book. The chapter that I found the most helpful was actually the last chapter, the part of tens. It was the shortest, and basically it was a section where they broke things down into really basically like 10 ways to do this, 10 ways to do that. So one of them was just ways to improve your practice time. In that section, in the 10 ways to improve your practice time, there were some really good helpful tips. The one that I found the most helpful was keeping a practice journal. Even if you can't, for me, it's really hard to set a regular time, a regular place, but keeping a practice journal is something I've actually never done for any of my instruments, and I found it really helpful to just kind of look back and see, well, how much did I get through, and this is how I'm better because, I can do this more quickly than I could do it a week ago when I practiced it. So I thought that that was a really interesting way to keep track of my own progress, and I really liked it. One of the other tips that I liked, and this is something that I've done with every instrument I have, is actually they suggest that you leave your ukulele out on a stand because you see it, you grab it, you play it because it's right there. And I do this with my guitar as well. All of the instruments that my husband and I have, we don't keep them locked up in a closet or hidden, behind anything. They're just all right by our piano, and that way we see them and we think about playing all the time. And it's amazing what little difference that can make. There are also some tips about being a ukulele player, just as far as getting nerves, or about being a ukulele performer, as far as nerves and things like that, which is helpful. If you're a brand new beginner, you may never think that you're going to be doing any actual performing, but you never know. So it's nice to have those tips in there as well. But overall, I found it really good. I thought that they did they also have a really good job talking about, or they've got a lot of ukulele exercises. They provide motivation for why you should do exercises. They talk about strumming and finger picking. Both are included in the book. And if you have never played a fretted stringed instrument before, I think that part is really helpful, just the explanation of the finger picking and strumming and things like that. So if you're interested in starting the ukulele, it's kind of a fun way to start it. It has everything you need to kind of get started. Like I said, whether you're coming from a guitar background or from a